Jessie's treasure trove, where every piece speaks mysteries. Jessie's oddities beckon. Get yours today.
Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you a very strange and creepy and also really sad tale about the girl who lived in the pool drain. Now the warm weather's coming up, okay? People are gonna go swimming. I have a pool in my backyard. We deserve to be spooked. Okay, before we get started, I just wanted to announce, in case you have not seen, we have a brand new birthday mystery box. This is a mystery box that stays on our website all year round, so when it is your birthday, you can order one or ask your family or friend to order one for you, and you get a bunch of magical, awesome items. We also have a pizza pack out right now, which is so adorable, and you guys know I love pizza. I will never stop loving pizza. So you get pizza socks, a pizza plushie, which I love, and a pizza pen. Imagine taking a slice of pizza to school and writing with it. So if you guys would like a birthday mystery box or a pizza box, I have linked it down below. And without further ado, let's get started. Now before we talk about the girl in the pool drain, I found this really eerie creepypasta, and it's called Pool Rules, and it kind of reminds me of a back rooms level, and it's basically all these rules that you have to follow at this specific pool. We don't know where this pool is. We don't even know if it exists. We don't even know if it's in our reality or some other reality, but it's eerie, and I'm gonna read you these rules. Rule number 1, do not swim alone. Do not open your eyes underwater. Some things are best left unseen. Do not swim down to the bottom of the pool. Do not touch the bottom of the pool. Stay away from the bottom of the pool. There are things down there that still remember what it was like to be alive. There are no lifeguards on duty. If you see a lifeguard, exit the pool area immediately. Sometimes the pool water will be different colors. This is normal. Continue to swim. You will see bubbles rise from the deep end of the pool. You will hear water splashing. Do not try to find the source. Stay in the shallow end of the pool. Do not enter the pool at high tide. Do not enter the pool at low tide. Only use the pool in between high tide and low tide. If you find something floating in the pool, do not touch it. Allow it to float on. Do not be alarmed if you feel something swim past you. This is normal. Do not drink the pool water. I think the only normal thing we ever heard as kids was the last one about not drinking the pool water, but all these other ones are so creepy. And do you see how it kind of resembles a back rooms level? It just makes me not want to go in the pool ever again. Okay, so let's talk about this next creepypasta. It's called Voices in the Drain, and this is the one about someone in the pool drain. And did you guys know there is a real fear that people have where they just feel disturbed around pool drains? And there's been many instances where kids have been pulled down and trapped by their hair. And when I was a kid, I was always afraid to be sitting in the bath when the water was draining. I always told my parents that it looked like a tiny water tornado, and I was scared if I got too close to it, it would just suck me down into the drain, which obviously wasn't logical because the drain is like this small and I'm like a full-size child. But was anyone ever afraid of drains as a kid? It really freaked me out. It's like this dark hole of nothingness, and I don't want to go in there. Like even the pool cleaning robots freaked me out a little bit. And we have one for our pool. And I think I just don't like deep water or like things submerged in water. I don't even like oceans or lakes or anything. And it's crazy because I was a lifeguard. I was a swim instructor. I was in competitive swimming. What changed in me? If you have a fear of drains or even like deep water, comment the water drop emoji. I want to know, is anyone else like me? This story is about a family that moved into an old farmhouse. And in the backyard, there was an old pool that looked like it hadn't been filled in ages. It was just filled with mud and garbage and tree branches. But as you can probably guess, they decided to fully clean it out, kind of renovate it a little bit, and then fill it up with water so they can use it. The youngest child in the family was named Beatrice, and when this happened, she was about 10 years old. She loved to swim and was using the pool the most. She liked to do laps back and forth, but her eyes always stung from the salt. So her mother got her a pair of goggles, and so she was actually able to keep her eyes open and protected as she was swimming back and forth. And it was odd looking at the bottom of the pool as she swam back and forth, and it wasn't long before her eyes caught something a little odd. In the deep end, where the drain was placed between the tiles, she saw bubbles coming out of it. And it wasn't a steady stream. They would start and then stop and then go for a while and then stop quickly, kind of just always at different intervals. So curious, she decided to swim down towards it, and she was pretty confident that she could hold her breath for a long time. And when she was about halfway down, she began to hear the sounds. It was as though someone was talking underwater, and closer and closer she began to realize that someone was speaking to her through the drain, and the bubbles coming out of it were perfectly lining up with the sound. The problem was she couldn't hear what it was saying. Have you guys ever tried to like go underwater and talk to your friend? Like, you can hear noise, but it's impossible to know exactly what they're saying unless you can see their lips. And now I know what you're thinking at this part of the story. You think it's gonna be one of those cliche tales where a long time ago a child drowned in the pool and now their spirit haunts the pool. And if you've recently seen the movie Night Swim, you know these stories are told over and over and over again, but you didn't guess right. There was not a child who drowned in the pool. It's actually a much more sinister tale than that, if you can believe it. So Beatrice ran out of the pool, ran inside her house, told her parents what she saw and heard. And of course, they talked her down. They told her, hey, it's just a pool drain, bubbles come out of it, weird noises come out of it, which is honestly a pretty logical explanation. And so months went by and Beatrice just decided to ignore it as she was swimming. It wasn't until she was visiting a museum with her school one day that had old photographs of her town all over the walls. And in one photograph, she saw her house when it was first built all the way back in the late 1800s. And she pointed at it with excitement, told everyone around her that that was her house that she moved into. And this older woman who was giving her class a tour of the museum instantly paled as soon as she pointed to it. But after a moment, she just continued her presentation. At the end of the day, Beatrice went up to that older woman and asked her why she had such a strange reaction. The woman tried to brush her off, but Beatrice pretty much made her tell her. And this is when Beatrice's whole world crumbled before her. The woman told her that her own mother used to tell her a terrifying tale way back in the day about the house. It was meant to be an old wives' tale, a cautionary tale, just something that went around the town to scare people. The tale went that this small family built that farmhouse. A loving father, a loving mother, and their young child named Georgina. They started off so happy there, but one day Georgina's mother sadly passed away from an illness. After some time of grieving, Georgina's father fell in love with another woman and invited her to live with them. And this woman was an angel in front of the father, but of course she was absolutely horrible to Georgina behind the scenes. It's kind of like your classic Cinderella story, okay? Evil stepmother vibes. One day, the stepmother told Georgina that there was a door to a magical land underneath their backyard, and she just had to dig to find it. She said it was a world where fairies danced and unicorns ran through fields. So of course, Georgina excitedly ran outside with a shovel and began digging. Of course, she didn't get too far in one day, but each day that passed, her stepmother would encourage her to keep going outside to dig, and she was so close to getting to that secret door. After a week, the tunnel was so deep that Georgina had trouble even climbing out of it. And then, one fateful day, just as the evil stepmother planned and hoped, it collapsed while Georgina was inside of it. Georgina was buried deep in the earth in the backyard, right where the pool was put in the 1960s. And the old woman in the museum said it was probably just a silly old story, but it always used to scare her as a kid, so she always made sure not to go near that house. Beatrice was mortified and immediately went home and sat at the edge of her pool looking down at the drain. And of course, bubbles were coming out of it and coming to the surface, so she bravely decided to jump in, swimming all the way to the bottom, much closer to the drain than she had ever been before. And there, between the grates, she saw wide, terrified eyes staring back at her. And that's how that story ends. It's like so sad, but so creepy, and I'm gonna be terrified to get into my pool in the summertime because we got a big drain down there, okay? There could be a few people underneath there. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's story time. Don't forget, if you would like a birthday mystery box or a pizza pack, I've linked everything down below. But I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Oh, by the way, if you would like to win this backdrop, I forgot to mention it, head over to my podcast channel, The Peculiar Place Podcast, and just comment the strawberry emoji emoji on our recent video, and I'll be announcing the winner very soon. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Children lost, ensnared by a witch's binding spell. Jesseline, the awakened soul, yearns to escape and find a new home. Dare you join her and explore more?